What I'd like to do now is walk through the structure of this menu system, and it might make a little bit more sense why we're dividing this up as we are. So you'll see up here, this is our widget blueprint, our main menu, and inside of it we have a canvas panel. And then our canvas panel is actually going to have two scale boxes that have been renamed main 1 and main 2. So for the left side container, which is all this, you'll see that that mirrors all of this over here. So we have our scale box, which has been renamed. Inside of that, there's a background blur. Inside of that, there's a vertical box. There's some text. There's a size box. Inside of that, there's an image. And then we get our WBP button, and we need 4 of those. And you'll see this is how it ends up being structured. Once this is created, all we have to do is duplicate the scale box, and before you know it, we have virtually all this work that was done here is replicated in just a couple of seconds. With some modifications down here, we can easily finish out the more menu. So this is the overall structure, and what we're going to do now is just this part right here. So without further ado, let's jump back into our project. Here we are back in Unreal Engine, and what we're going to do is jump into our main menu. It's almost like we're going to go grocery shopping, and this is how we did it last time. I'm just going to go and get what we need, the widgets that we need, and then we'll go back over them one at a time. Some of them we won't even have to do anything to, like the vertical box, and other widgets will need to make some adjustments. We already have our canvas panel. What we need now is a scale box. So let's get a scale box and drag that onto the canvas panel. And this will actually be our main container right here. And we're going to rename that here pretty soon. Then we're going to get a background blur. I believe it's the only special effect the UMG has, and we'll drag that into the scale box. Then we're going to get a vertical box and put that inside the background blur. It's a lot like Russian nesting dolls. Now we're going to get some text and put that inside of the vertical box. Next up is a size box, and we're going to put that inside the vertical box. Then we are going to get an image, and that goes inside the size box. We're going to search for our WBP button right here and drag that into the vertical box. And then what we can do is just go Control D, Control D, Control D. And look how quickly we've put all this together. So let's talk a little bit about the scale box. The scale box is a widget that lets us maintain the aspect ratio of a widget, even if the screen size changes. So it's ideal for creating a responsive UI. And a lot of times, we can design a user interface, but we may not know exactly the screen size that will be used. And if we use a scale box, we can be assured that whatever our widget is and then what's inside of it, it will scale appropriately and it won't distort. All we're going to set on it is the size to content. Now let me zoom in here a little bit, and you'll see what happens as soon as I do that. You can see all of our widgets inside of it. So that's great. Since we're here, I'm going to go ahead and rename this to main 1, because this is essentially our main container. Next up is the background blur. It's almost like we're on a bus and we're making stops along the way. So here on our background blur, all we need to do, let me select it first, is go to blur strength, and you can experiment with different values, but 15 I think gives a nice background blur. This background blur can only hold one widget, but if that can contain other widgets inside of it, then essentially you can put unlimited widgets inside of a background blur. And that's exactly what we've done, because right after the background blur, we have our vertical box, and there's actually nothing that we need to do on our vertical box. We can leave that on all its default settings, and we don't even have to worry about it. Next up is our text block, and this is actually going to be for our title text. So I'm just going to rename this up here to title text. And this is very similar to the text that we've already created. A lot of these settings should be familiar. What we're going to do is come up here where it says text and type in main menu in capital letters. We're going to open up color and opacity, and there's our color, and that's really easy to do because we've already done that. Then we'll go into our font here and choose our Antigua, and on font size we're going to do 50, just like that. And you can see as we go, things are really progressing nicely. And we'll come down to our shadow offset for the, like we did before, all we need to do is adjust the alpha to 1. So we'll type in 1 there, and we just need to give it some offset, and I chose the values 5, and if I hit tab I can put in 6, and just like that we have a really nice looking font there. And that pretty much does it. The only thing else that I would recommend doing or suggest doing, and I think this is optional, is I'd like to create a little bit more of a buffer zone here so that we can see more background blur around the edges. So I'm just going to put in some, and you don't have to do this if you don't want to, but it's completely up to you. I'm just going to put in 10 into the left, 10 into the top, 10 into the right, and then on the bottom here I'm going to put -10 to bring the whole menu up a little bit. And that's all we have to do for our title text. Moving right along, we have a size box, and inside of it we have an image. And what we're going to do is use the size box to control the size of the image to create a custom border or an underlining effect. So this is a really great way to create all kinds of borders or underlining effects. Here, there's just a couple settings here on the size box. We're going to set it to center alignment, and look how much it shrinks when we do that. I've already played around with these values, so I think 479 on the width is fine, and on the height, because I think that's way too thick, I just put in a 9, and just like that we have a nice border. Of course there's no color associated with the size box, so we have to go to the image to do that. For the image, you'll notice in here that there's a tint, and this does exactly what you think it does, is it tints the brush, it tints the colors, but we don't really want that. But interestingly, when this is set to white, it doesn't have any effect. And if you think about it mathematically, that makes sense, because 1 times a number is that number. A white tint times any other color is just that color. So when this is set to 1, it's there, but it's not having any effect. But here is where we want to adjust our color and opacity to change this from a white, because this color is certainly not going to work out for us. So here, what we're going to do is I'm just going to change the values right here, and we'll go 0.073 on green, that's going to be 0.008, and on blue, that's going to be 0.017, and on the alpha, I just put 0.7. And like we did before, you can go ahead and save that so it can be reused. And that's all we need to do, and just like that, look at how things are shaping up for us. What we need to do at this point is simply go in and rename everything so that we don't have any issues. And it's mostly these buttons that we need to rename. So let's go ahead and do that. So if I select this first button, and as we mentioned before, if something's going to be a variable, then it needs to be renamed. And so up here on the top, this first button is actually going to be our start button to start our game or our project. So I'm just going to rename this to WBP start. And then down here where it says text, we're just going to type in start. And then we'll move to the next button. And this button is going to be our quit button. So we'll click into here and we'll just rename this WBP quit. And we'll rename it down here to quit. The next button is going to be our help button here. So we'll click into this box up there, type in help. And down here we'll rename it to help. And the last one is going to be our more button. And this button is what's going to take us to the next other container, open up the other container. So we're going to call this WBP more. And of course we'll change this to more. And just like that, we've essentially built up our main container for our menu system. At this point, I'd like to go ahead and pause and take a break, and we'll come back and finish building out our menu system. So I'll see you in the next section.